Hello, Cryptonauts, and welcome back to another episode of Cryptocurrency Chat. I am your host, Jake Jabarelli, and I have no co-host tonight. I don't know where my co-hosts have gotten to. You're just going to have to listen to me. Anyways, thank you all for showing up tonight and listening to the podcast. I haven't necessarily released exactly at the time that we record it, and we have been talking about the possibility of doing this live. We haven't gotten there yet, mainly because nobody shows up on time. Anyways, besides that, let's get on to the top 10 daily stats. As you can see here from CoinGecko, I'm going to hit the refresh because this always changes. And it did actually change a little bit today, even though it was on its way up. It came right back down again in the last little bit. At the top, we have Bitcoin, as we always do, at 41,031.02 cents. A 7-day loss of 2.3% roughly, and a market cap of just getting close to $800 million at $778.92 or $992. And Ethereum in second place at a 1.3% 7-day gain, a 2767.09 price, and a market cap of $331.867 billion. And you can see over there on the right that it is going up. Go back up again. Everybody needs to go back up again. Tether is in third place, but it's a stable coin, so it doesn't really change. Even though you can see here that it's not $1. But it does not show any change for some reason, though it's not $1. It's kind of weird. But it's supposed to be close. I mean, 0.999, that's pretty close to $1. And its current market cap is $80.1 billion. There's also quite a lot of trade going on here. As you can see, about 50 billion, almost its entire market cap in trade. Actually, it's been higher than the entire market cap in trade before. Binance is in fourth place at 383.27, a 7-day loss of 2.6%, and a market cap of $64.65 billion. It's down a little bit, but not down by a whole lot. USD coin is also a stable coin, so it is not moving very much, but it is not it's 0.998 there, as you can see. Market cap of $52.5 billion. In sixth position is Ripple, kicking Terra out of its, place where it's been all this time. It's up 2.8% against Terra's, drop of almost 12%, but we'll get there. Current price of Ripple is 0.78 or 78.9 cents. A market cap of $37.9 billion. Terra falling, as I said, quite a bit, double digits, to 87.54, market cap of $32.3 billion, and a 12% loss. Ouch, Terra, what are you doing? Solana, currently neck and neck with Terra, actually, as far as price goes, 88.4 in eighth position here, a 0.2% gain. It's really kind of not moved very much at all, although you can see it that in the last 24 hours it's moved quite a lot. And a market cap of $28 billion even. Cardano is currently in ninth place, fell slightly less than 1%. Current price of $84.3, and a market cap of $26.8 billion. And then Polkadot rounding out the top 10 with a price of $19.09 at this very moment, although it's probably already changed. A 6.8% gain over the last week. Well, the market's kind of all over the place, isn't it? And a total market cap of $20.7 billion. And of course, the following five: Avalanche, Binance USD, which is a stablecoin, Dogecoin, Terra, another stablecoin, and Shiba Inu wrapping out the top 15. Bitcoin dominance is currently at 40.9%, slightly higher than two-fifths of the entire market. But Ethereum's been losing a lot lately. It's still at 17.4% down there. It's no longer half of the value of Bitcoin. It's slightly less than half. And if you haven't already, I highly recommend that you pick up your coins, rather from CoinGecko, the rewards, little candies you can get. There are all kinds of things like NFTs and discounts and books that you can get from engaging here with CoinGecko's coin or candies rewards program. And to round out the top 10, what is our total market cap for the entirety of all crypto? $1.904 trillion US dollars. Current value of the entire market cap. I don't know if I can show that to you, but it's up 1.5% in the last 24 hours. It's more than the total amount of Bitcoin, right? Because Bitcoin's only 40%. So if you divide this number by 40% and the total number of Bitcoin, you get the total one. So it's probably on the order of, 50 million Bitcoin in value if you want to do it in something other than US dollars. So let's get to the news, since that's what we're all here for. But before we do that, I just want to say to you guys, thank you for listening in. And if you're watching me show this to this video section here on YouTube, I appreciate a like for the channel. You can always get us on Discord. You can also get us, if you'd like to support us, through Patreon or through direct coin offerings of Binance, Ethereum, Basic Attention, Raven, Dynamo. If you want to donate Dynamo, we'll accept that too. All that information is in the link down below at the bottom of the description area. At the bottom, in particular, with YouTube. So let's get to the news. Yes, we are subscribers. That's kind of funny. I think this is because I'm in private mode here. The news. Kazakhstan shuts down 106 crypto mining farms. This article from Dimitar, sorry. The government of Kazakhstan identified 106 crypto mining farms that operate without necessary licenses. The authorities halted 51 of them, while 55 ceased their operations voluntarily. I think I would if my government cracked down, at least initially I would. Earlier this year, Kazakhstan declared war on illegal digital asset mining farms. Minister Musin claimed, let me boost the size of this so y'all can see it if you're on a smaller device, claimed that they could negatively impact the nation's energy network. Quote, gray miners are doing a lot of harm to our power grid. The energy costs of illegal mining are estimated to exceed 1 gigawatt. Is that 1 gigawatt per moment or 1 gigawatt per year? It's a lot of power. A lot of power. According to a recent announcement, authorities forced 106 crypto mining farms to halt their activities. 55 of those, of course, shut down voluntarily. The other 51, suspected of tax evasion and operating on special economic zones without regulatory approval, were terminated by law enforcement. The investigation further revealed that some popular political and business figures were behind the illegal companies. These include Bolat Nazarbayev, the brother of the former president Nursultan Nazarbayev, Kairat Itigmenov, Kazakhstan's 17th richest man. I don't know if that's a title I'd want, but all right. And Alexander Klebanov, the chairman of the Central Asian Electric Power Corp. Oh, the Power Corp guy was behind it. Ooh, that's not good. Additionally, the authorities confiscated over 65,000 pieces of mining equipment from those farms. Of course, they're going to put it into operation. No, they're not going to do that. I'm just kidding. $190 million worth. They also opened 25 criminal cases against people related to the companies. It's worth noting that cryptocurrency mining is an important niche for Kazakhstan. The former Soviet state accounts for 18% of the global hash rate. The U.S. is the only nation ahead of that with 35.4%. Kazakhstan just shut down 18% of the entire network. Who's picking it up? Vietnam? In February, the government identified and halted the activities of 13 cryptocurrency mining farms. The entities were located all over the country in regions like Turkestan, Pavlodar, Karaganda, and Akmola. I'm not trying to make it sound like I have some kind of accent. I'm just pronouncing the way it sounds like it should be pronounced to me. And the region of Kostanay. I hope that's correct. According to estimations, the farm collectively employed an electricity capacity of over 200 megawatts. Quite a bit, indeed that is. Nevertheless, President Tokayev stated that the government will not disturb white miners, I'm guessing those are good miners, ones that have registered, who receive the necessary approval to execute their operations. Quote, the government is not opposed to white miners, but people who want to operate in this sector must have a license to get their electricity at the appropriate tariffs, declare their income, and pay taxes and get involved in green projects. So it's it's unfortunate that 106 crypto mining companies were not operating legally. But I guess maybe the problem comes down to the fact that they just aren't as regulated. But now it's pretty obvious that Kazakhstan is getting back online with appropriate legislation and crackdown. Hey, John, how you doing? You here, John? I can see you. All right, well, I'm going to continue on with the news, and if, John, you want to come in and read some with me, well, we'll do that too. Continuing on with Andrew Thorvalos's Metamask token confirmed, DAO in the plans. That's a decentralized autonomous organization. The popular Ethereum wallet Metamask is officially launching its own token, as confirmed by Consensus CEO Joseph Lubin. The team will also reportedly launch a decentralized autonomous organization, or DAO, DAO, for funding the wallet's growth. Metamask competes with other self-custodial wallets like MyEther and I never heard of MyEther and Coinbase Wallet for interacting with Web3. Individuals and institutions can use the wallet to use their Ethereum and other smart contract chains for minting NFTs, accepting DeFi, and other things. A lot of other things. Just as a side note to MetaMask, there are a lot of chains you can put on there. I have at least 6. There are many more than just Ethereum, but that's what they started with. Though DAOs are typically conceived as an alternative governance model in contrast to more hierarchical corporations, Metamask DAO will not dictate the project's growth. Rather, it will simply serve as a funding mechanism like various donation-focused DAOs have done before. Not many details were provided about the DAO aside from that. Metamask token, which has been faked in the past, has also had little revealed about it. Some hope that it will unfold like the Uniswap token, which was airdropped on earlier users of the project. However, Metamask head of operations confirmed last month it will not be designated as a cash grab. Metamask has seen tremendous growth as of late, recently surpassing over 30 million monthly active users. That's up over the 40% since November, when the company behind Consensus was only half its current valuation. The wallet was recently caught up in some controversy after briefly censoring Venezuelan transactions due to the node routes to Infura being required to limit transactions from certain regions. The issue has since been fixed. Thank goodness. I'm interested in seeing how MetaMask is going to deal with this token that they're going to be providing. But I'm glad that they pointed out that it's not all about a cash grab. I know a lot of people think airdrops like, oh, well, if I just donate a bunch of money and use this thing a whole lot, then I can get a bunch of stuff. Well, I've been using MetaMask for quite some time, and maybe I'll get something out of it. I don't know, but I don't care if they have a coin. Continuing on to the next article, also by Andrew Thorvalos. President Zelensky of Ukraine signs virtual asset bill to legalize crypto. Yay, Zelensky, go! Ukraine's president has officially signed the virtual asset bill to legalize cryptocurrency for income exchange and businesses as approved by Parliament last month. This comes after weeks of financial support from the crypto community for help in fending off Russia's invasion. According to a statement from the Ministry of Digital Transformation of Ukraine, that's a very interesting name, the new law creates conditions for a legal virtual asset market in the country. It will be regulated by the National Securities and Stock Market Commission alongside the National Bank of Ukraine. The commission will form and implement state policy on crypto and issue permits to crypto service providers while financially monitoring the area. The law will also provide conditions for the registration of virtual asset companies and for formation of the legal field in the virtual asset market. A different version of this bill was passed by Parliament months ago, but set back by President Zelensky due to a provision for the new body dedicated to regulating digital assets. The new bill contains the president's preferred amendments. Ukraine is already one of the top 5 countries in the world for cryptocurrency usage, making the law's approval somewhat overdue. It comes shortly after Dubai established its virtual asset regulatory authority, and after U.S. President Joe Biden signed an executive order on crypto industry oversight. Some have feared that the crypto that crypto could weaken the West's economic punishment against Russia following its invasion of Ukraine last month. On the contrary, virtual assets have been overwhelmingly beneficial to Ukraine during the conflict, and the nation receiving over $100 million in crypto donations in less than a month. That's quite a bit of cash. The nation is even preparing to launch an NFT collection about the Russian war following a canceled airdrop. Still don't know if that's a good idea. Hey, commemorate this terrible event with an NFT. Anyways, I'm guessing it's just to help them get more money, which is not a bad thing at this time of need. Even though it would be interesting to see that if Ukraine became a more valuable country, that is having more money just in general, would they then be, something of use to the West? I don't know. I hate to put things in the terms of money, but that's what this seems to be a lot about. Continuing on, and there's yet another article. Okay. I don't think this is something I'm going to read all about. I just want to make mention of that Aave version 3 goes live on the mainnet, including a redesigned app. Just skipping over the news, I just want to let people know Aave's version 3 is on live. Oh boy. Continuing here, Dimitar Zanzarov's article, U.S. authorities to return $500,000 for the Bitcoin to a conned elderly person. Yay! I'm glad they could find the money and get it back to them. It's not FDIC, because that's more money than FDIC covers. U.S. Attorney Dana J. King announced that the law enforcement seized $547,000 worth of Bitcoin from a criminal who conned an elderly person last year. The officials will return all the funds to the victim. In its latest efforts to fight fraudulent activities involving cryptocurrency, American officials confiscated more than $500,000 in Bitcoin from a criminal. The latter drained the funds from an elderly Asheville resident last year as the sum represented his entire savings. Retirement savings. According to a recent announcement by the United States Department of Justice, the scammer deceived the victim that his personal data had been used to facilitate illicit operations such as drug trafficking and money laundering. The fraudster, who identified himself as Agent James Hoffman, told the man to deposit funds into a secure government account to protect himself. Later on, the criminal advised the victim to purchase Bitcoin through Coinbase's application and transfer the crypto asset to the aforementioned account. The con person used all his retirement savings, equaling about $547,000, to buy a little over 12 Bitcoin. Fortunately for him, Coinbase and the FBI launched an investigation and identified the scam. In the aftermath, U.S. Attorney King ruled that the funds must be seized from the criminal and returned to the victim. The court officially praised the joint efforts of the FBI and Coinbase. She also noted that crypto scams usually do not have such a happy ending for victims. Quote, government imposter scams are pervasive and can be financially and psychologically devastating for those who fall prey. Thankfully, in this instance, the fraud was detected quickly and the stolen funds were returned to the victim. Unfortunately, the majority of these cases do not share a similar ending, end quote. The DOJ further disclosed that the victims of such scams are often elderly people who do not have the necessary financial knowledge and thus can be easily deceived. Criminals often introduce themselves as grandchildren to the elderly adults, insisting on funds because they need to pay rent or, repair a car. Romance scams are also not absent. In many cases, older people are lonely, and fraudsters initiate contact by presenting themselves as their online dates. Upon seeing interest, criminals ask the victims to send digital assets to dubious accounts, funds that could sponsor a vacation, or, they could do anything with the money. To avoid falling into such traps, the DOJ recommends never sharing personal information with unfamiliar individuals. People must also never transfer funds to unknown addresses and not send gift cards, checks, or money orders. Yeah, I watched this happen to my own grandmother before she passed. Not that she got taken, because she's not a dummy, but it's unfortunate to see when the elderly are scammed. How you doing, John?
All good, all good. Yeah, that's unfortunate, man.
Say again?
That's all. It's unfortunate about that issue with the elderly person.
Barely hear you. Maybe it's just me.
You hear me?
I can hear you, but you're very quiet. Let me see if I can turn my audio up.
Quiet.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
Okay, now you got me.
Yeah, no, I can hear you. Continue. Do you want to read the next one?
Sure. Let's see here. Let me go back
The
here.
Bitcoin falls after Fed raises interests.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Actually, no,
written by
wait.
Andrew.
Let's not.
Uh,
It's just an announcement. We don't really have to read about it. Let's just move on to the FTX article here. FTX partners with Aza Finance. Just to make a note. So Bitcoin fell. The Fed raises interest rates. Just so everybody knows, that's why Bitcoin went down. It's not really important about all this other finance detail. We're just going to read other news.
all right, so FTX.
Yeah.
All right, FTX partners with Aza Finance to expand crypto and Web3 in Africa. Written by Dimitar Zenzarov. The cryptocurrency exchange FTX collaborated with the fintech company Aza Fintech to expand the adoption of cryptocurrencies throughout Africa. Additionally, the two entities will aim to connect to Web3 economy.
John, are you still there? John? If you're still talking, I can't hear you. All right, well, I'm going to give you some time here to... maybe I'm disconnected here. Let's see. What's happening to my signal? Hold on, everybody. I just need to figure out what's going on, why I'm not connected. Pop that open. Yep. John, can you hear me? John, can you hear me? All right, let's see here. Just a short little break. Not trying to make it. I mean, I know he's probably still talking out there, but okay. Well, I can't hear you. Whatever happened, the audio quit on my side. Yeah, I guess I'll just continue reading. I don't know what's going on with my headset here. Let me just log out and log back in real quick.
Was it me?
No, it wasn't you. I don't know what happened. You don't mean to interrupt. All I know is if I can't hear you, then the system can't hear you, which means you just stopped suddenly, and then I couldn't. It wasn't recording you anymore. So
Very good now.
yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, let's continue. One of the largest digital asset trading venues, FTX continues to strike important deals to popularize its global presence. According to a recent press release, the latest partnership is with the Kenya-based fintech firm Aza Finance. The associates outlined 5 key points they will focus on. First, they will vow to connect African markets to the global Web3 sector by building the necessary infrastructure. Second, FTX and Aza Finance will create pathways to educate local users about Web3 and certain network opportunities. Third, FTX said it will provide its platform to African consumers to allow them to complete transactions in domestic currencies, including mobile money and local bank account integrations. Fourth, the collaboration will intend to develop African currency and digital currency trading pairs. Subsequently, the initiative will focus on non-fungible tokens by introducing local NFTs and artists to the broader population of the continent. Elizabeth Roselio, CEO and founder of Aza Finance, said her company is thrilled to join forces with FTX, describing the exchange's CEO Sam Bankman-Fried as exceptional. In her view, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, and Web3 will be important features in Africa's future, and the region should embrace similar opportunities. Speaking on the matter, who was also Sam Bankman-Fried, quote, "We are excited to partner with Aza Finance to further expand our presence on the continent. We chose to partner with Elizabeth and her team because of the incredible work they've done across Africa. We look forward to working closely with them and the local regulatory bodies to bring all of our products and services to the African market in a compliant way." Africa's current population is over 1.2 billion people, as most individuals are under 30. Moreover, it is estimated that the number of inhabitants will double between now and 2050, and the majority of them will live in urban areas. Some presume that these factors will propel further cryptocurrency and digital technology adoption on the continent in the years to come. In September 2021, Chainalysis revealed that Africa marked a 1,200% increase in incoming crypto volume in 1 year. A separate study shows why Bitcoin and all altcoins had become such an attractive financial tool on the continent. Per the results, nearly 70% of the local investors delved into the market to provide a better life for their families. Around 50% allocated their salaries in digital assets to pay for the children's future education, while 43% invested in cryptocurrency to establish a fund to pass on their relatives. Only 3% admitted having no plans when dealing with the asset class. All right.
It does seem like a lot of people in Africa are using um, using crypto. It's good to see
Oh,
that FTX is spearheading every single market they can.
got to keep in mind that mobile money's been around for a long time. That's the way Africa's pretty much been dealing with commerce for a while. So technically, they've been doing digital payments for a long time. They've been trading their minutes, their mobile minutes.
Yep. Yeah. Phonium
So
was one
just
of the
try to.
first times I learned about
Mhm,
how active the African market was with phone transfers. I thought it was a
mhm.
silly thing when I first saw Phonium. I'm like, wait, what? And they're like, yeah, this would be great in Africa. I'm like, really? And they're like, yeah, everybody just uses e-money through their phone because everybody has a phone and it's the most convenient way to communicate.
Yeah.
As if we didn't know that. But I think one of the points that I looked into later was that where Africa is still somewhat, and it depends on which country you're dealing with, but um, still a growing, effectively third world type place. It was easier for them to just put up uh, cell sites than to string, telephone lines like we had in all the other more first world countries. And so the reason cell phones became popular so quickly is because really the first thing they had was cell phones, not landlines. I mean, there are places that have landlines, major cities do, but other places it just didn't. So cell phones were just easier. So
It's been a long time since I've seen a good article from Africa, and this is an amazing piece here by Dimitar. And I want to say this. I don't think I've said this probably this year, but in years past, I've had said this exact statement that Africa will be the China 2.0, or the next I guess commerce that's going to be out there that's going to take over global trade. That's the way I see it, and I think it's going to be with blockchain and Web3. That's going to be the next evolution, and Africa's going to be spearheading that.
well, a long time ago, Africa was pretty prominent on the map. It's just the Western countries didn't really think much of it. I mean, think about northern Africa, particularly like Egypt, areas around that. It's very active. I mean, it was one of the
Mhm.
first most active places in the world. So just because
Yeah,
it's been 4,000 years since that happened doesn't mean it hasn't happened before. So
yeah. He just missed the whole I guess the train on the last one when it come to I guess crude oil and the industrial revolution. Now with Web3 and I guess you can call it clean energy. That's the way Africa is going. They're able to jump on the bandwagon there. Like the way we have our system set up, we're tethered to a grid. Africa's theory is they're going to be, detached with their own little sources of either water or solar
yeah, no,
or
it's
wind.
yeah,
Yeah.
we don't have the jealousy of the nation states and the cities going, hey, why are you taking our not taking our water? It's like
Mm.
maybe we would be better off if we just did independent stuff instead of dependent stuff. I mean, it worked for a time, and now we're switching gears again.
Yeah.
So all right, so China's digital yuan could challenge the USD's dominance. CNBC expert says again from Zanzarov. Richard Turin, not the father of the modern computer, financial technology consultant at CNBC, argued that the Chinese Central Bank Digital Currency, or CBDC, could challenge the dominance of the American dollar this decade. Significantly, he believes the yuan, or yuan, That sounds funny. Might replace its rival as the currency of choice in international trade settlements. I'm sure China wants that to be the case, but I think Bitcoin will still hold sway over it. That's just my opinion. The Chinese government is known for having one of the most hostile stances on private cryptocurrencies. Last year, the authorities imposed a total ban on all digital asset endeavors, while monetary organizations and payment companies were also prohibited from facilitating crypto transactions. On the other hand, the country has an entirely different viewpoint on the central bank digital currencies. Over the past several months, the most populated nation introduced numerous initiatives to popularize its yuan as implemented it and implement it among the broader society. According to Richard Turin, the financial expert, of course, we just said that, China is ahead in all financial technology by a decade. In this view, the U.S. needs at least 5 years to launch trials for a potential digital dollar. Keeping in mind the rapid development of the yuan, Turin said it could challenge the dollar's supremacy and even replace it as a currency of choice when facilitating international trades. I mean, I'm going to step in here, even though I know the article is not over with, and say anyone who uses the yuan is an idiot because China monitors everything. If you want to be monitored, you should definitely use their electronic yuan. Remember, China is the largest country, and you're going to see a digital yuan slowly supplant the dollar when buying things from China. If we go about 5 to 10 years, yes, the digital yuan can play a significant role in reducing the dollar's usage in international trade. In addition, Turin believes many countries will become less dependent on American national currency in the years to come. Now, with that, I agree. What you're going to see, this is another quote, in the future is a rollback, a risk management exercise that seeks to slowly and maybe just slightly reduce the dependence on the dollar from 100% down to maybe 80 or 85%. Sure. I think we're just going to move to Bitcoin. Thank you very much. The CNBC expert also touched on the military conflict in Ukraine and crippling sanctions imposed on Russia, while many countries, declared the economic war on Putin's regime and implemented penalties on Russian banks and oligarchs. China has refused to do this. According to Turin, though the Asian economic superpower will stay neutral in this dispute and will not provide further financial aid to Russia, Beijing will also not offer its digital yuan to Russian citizens as an escape hatch against the sanctions, concluded the financial consultant. That's just the way they talk. It just sounds weird. Quote, China wants eventually to have the digital yuan broadly accepted, and making it a sanction buster now when it's still a baby would not help in that goal. I think this guy has an interesting insight. I don't think he's correct, but I don't know. We'll have to see. Like to do the next one, John? Or do you have any comments?
I just have a little comment on that one.
Sure.
It's funny that you did quote that all the people that don't believe about this yuan. You said they're all idiots because China monitors everything, right? It's funny that you say that because literally earlier today at work, there was an article that came out about this. I think it was an elderly woman that was like robbed of her bag out in public, and there wasn't enough, like, I guess, witnesses or anybody to really say who that robber was, but ended up leaving that elderly woman, pretty bruised up when she was, taken advantage of at that moment.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people, so the co-workers this morning were talking about, hey, we need to be more like China. We need to have more digital cameras. We need more license plate readers, and we need to be able to trace people's data. The only people that's really affecting this is, and I'm literally, I didn't say anything, dude. I just let them talk amongst each other, and I hear them, pump each other, like, whatever. Okay. So they literally said, "Hey, we need more digital cameras put up. We need more license plate readers, and we need more the ability to data track where this I guess money's being spent, right?" And I'm like, kind of all exist already, but okay. anyways, well, I guess within the states is what they're saying. Here in California, um, I was mind blown, and they pretty much like their defense is, it shouldn't bother the average person because the average person is not a criminal.
Hmm.
But the only person that should be scared of that stuff, that's being monitored by the government, being Big Brother, they're like literally watching you every single step, is if you're a criminal, if you're a bad guy. If you're not, then you don't need to worry about that stuff. You
Yeah.
know, who
There,
cares about license plate readers?
there is a famous quote, and I cannot think of the guy's name at the moment, but he used to be the CEO of Google, who said basically the same thing that happened in McCarthyism was, if you have nothing to hide, you have nothing to worry about. The thing that's so sad is, and I don't know if he said this in the last podcast or not, or the one before that, but that you're right. You don't have anything to worry about if you have nothing to hide. But when people get their hands on a lot of power, there's another phrase that comes up, and that is absolute power corrupts absolutely. And yeah, I think the other one was money's the root of all evil. Anyways, the it's not that good people can't be trusted. Good people can be trusted, but not all people follow that ideology. So it's if we're going to have more surveillance, we need to have better. I'm trying to think if there's even a DAO way of making it. Surveillance of the surveillance, right? Better accountability.
So after this half an hour conversation,
Yeah,
one of the coworkers is like, "Yeah, all of this stuff is good. There just needs to be a balance between this
balance.
power,
Yes,
right?" I was like,
yes.
that's a nice little cherry on top that he said that, man. And this is a conversation that they're right in front of me. They're just talking about it. I'm like, and I'm sipping my morning coffee. It's like, you know, maybe if the elderly woman is not walking down a known alley to be mugged, I mean, I'm sorry, lady, but sometimes it's more of know where you're at, know your
Right, yeah,
surroundings.
yeah.
Kind
Be
of
aware of
deal.
your surroundings, right? But you're right. It would be nice to not. I mean, cameras aren't going to stop thieves. A presence of authority and a presence of cleanliness and just goodwill will deter lesser, less savory activity.
All right. So which is the next article that I take before my social credit score goes down?
Yeah, exactly. That is a reference to Chinese yuan. The Nuve partners with Ledger.
Okay, got it. It almost sounds like just a plug-in
It's a plug. Yeah,
for
we
yeah.
can just skip it and go to the next one. This is how
Okay.
South Korea's income. Yeah, this is a good
Yeah.
one.
This is a good one. Yeah. This one's written by Dimitar Zenzarov. This is how South Korea's incoming president aims to turn the country into crypto hub. South Korea's newly elected president Yoon Suk Yeol
Yale.
displayed a pro. How is it? Yeol.
I'd say
Yeol.
Sukyeo, but
Suk Yeol displayed a pro-crypto stance during his campaign. Among his ideas is increasing the minimum threshold for paying capital gains tax on profits from digital asset investments. Last week, president-elect election in last week's presidential election in South Korea was the most contested in the East Asia country's history. The candidate on the Conservative Party, Yoon Suk Yeol, collected only 263,000 votes, more than his opponent, the Democratic Party, Lee Jae-myung. The winner, who will officially step into office in May, labeled his win as a victory of the great South Korean people. During his campaign, Yoon showed he is a keen supporter of the cryptocurrency industry numerous times. Initially, he promised to allow the initial coin offerings, ICOs. In another appearance, the former prosecutor said that those who generate profits of less than $40,000 per year from crypto trading will be exempt from paying taxes. Currently, such taxes are imposed on profits generated above $2,000 per annum. I like this. This is a good thing. I like that.
I like it too.
Korea Blockchain Association, a lobby group for digital asset exchanges, predicted that the new president will positively impact the local cryptocurrency ecosystem. Speaking on the matter was Secretary General Yoon Seong Han. Quote, "We definitely welcome his stance as he is confident about boosting the industry. As ICOs are banned now, we have no choice but to issue coins in Singapore and other countries. Ventures and startups will be able to raise money easily from investors if the ban is lifted. That was written by Andy Lian.
Hmm.
Quote, he understands the importance of crypto. He understands the future, and it is unstoppable. It is worth noting that private digital assets are highly popular among South Koreans, as most enthusiastic demographic groups are are those in their 30s. A recent study revealed that around 50% of local crypto holders allocated more than $8,000 each in the asset class. Not long ago, Song Byung-do, CEO of Korea Exchange KRX, argued that the country needs to study and explore ways to embrace the cryptocurrency sector. The executive outlined that there are around 5 million local investors, while the daily market trading volume is about $12 billion. If the nation does not engage further with the asset class, it could fall behind other countries that have already opened their arms to it. Quote, now is the time for exchanges to compete directly with overseas exchange. Good thing, man. I like the positive attitude. I love it, man. Just spearhead crypto. Boom, do it. Go. South Korea. And actually, they were for the. I was gonna say at the beginning when pretty much just crypto was around, or in the early days. I remember South Korea was pretty much spearheading all the, I guess you can call it the funds of the liquidity into crypto itself. Now I'm not sure where it's who's maybe China. I think China's spearheading it now. But I remember in the early days it was South Korea.
Yeah, they do tend to get toward the tech ideas pretty fast, so I'm glad that they're moving to it. I guess I had a slight question as to whether the new South Korean president is being motivated by money or by prospering the society. I don't know. I don't know if anyone's even talked about that. But I don't get the impression that his motive is the same as that of Nayib Bukele of El Salvador. So
I do have a little concern about just pretty much focusing on ICOs. Like, what's the whole big deal about ICOs?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it makes you wonder:
As a president,
is he involved in this? Is someone paying him for this?
exactly.
That's my curiosity as well. So it's
Exactly.
kind of
Yeah,
like
because crypto is massive, man. It's so massive now. Like, why are you just focusing on one thing?
yeah,
ICOs. What's
yeah,
going on here?
yeah. What is it that you think will benefit the country, not just yourself? And if it is something that'll benefit the country, I can see why you're doing it. If it's just you, then you're going to be embroiled in a scandal, dude, and just don't do it.
Don't do it.
I don't know if that's the case, but we'll find out, obviously. Continuing on with DeFi protocols, Agave, 100 Finance hacked. Attacker steals $11 million worth of crypto. I want to see if I can get through this quickly because it's not short. Shiny Kadeka writes this. Not one, but two decentralized finance and DeFi protocols, Agave and 100 Finance, were exploited in a fresh case of the re-entrancy attack. The hacker reportedly managed to siphon $11 million in wrapped wrapped Bitcoin rather, Chainlink, USDC, Gnosis, and wrapped XDAI, that's DAI basically, on DeFi protocols from the Gnosis chain using a flash loan exploit, which is a problem that's been plaguing DeFi for a while now. She didn't write that part. I'm just making my commentary. Gauging at the data available on Tenderly for both breaches, it was found that the hacker exploited a reentry bug into the two protocols. For the uninitiated, those who don't know, reentrancy is a vulnerability in the Solidity programming language that enables a malicious entity to deceive a protocol's smart contract into making an external call to an untrusted contract. After the attacker gains control of the untrusted contract, they can make recursive calls to the original function to drain its funds. Blockchain and security researchers Mudip Gupta revealed that the official bridged tokens on Gnosis are the main culprit and stated that they are non-standard and have a hook that calls the token receiver on every transfer. He added that this is what allows reentrancy attacks. So we need to fix that or stop it. Agave is a fork of the DeFi lending platform Aave, while the multi-chain lending project 100 Finance is a fork of Compound. Gupta also claimed that Compound does not follow the recommended checks, effects, interactions pattern, despite referring to it. The reentrancy attacks become more staggering since the code executes interactions before applying the effects. On the other hand, Aave tries to follow the aforementioned checks, effects, interactions pattern. However, there exists a path via liquidations using which, liquidations using which the attacker broke the pattern in the recent attack. He went on to add, quote, the Agave and 100 protocol teams messed up by listing a token that can re-enter. Aave and Compound governance actively checked for reentrancy before listing tokens on the mainnet to avoid similar attacks. You got screwed because you were stupid. Popular DeFi lending platform Cream Finance, which shares a similar code base to that of Compound, was also exploited for $18.8 million flash loan reentrancy attack in August of last year. Yeah, and if you think you're safe, you're not. According to a developer of the DeFi protocol Dancefloor, Shigan, the funds are not safe. However, Martin Koppelman, the founder of Gnosis, said he would support a measure from the DAO. The teams behind 100 Finance and Agave is currently investigating the exploits and has paused the contracts. The only thing I want to make a comment in this is when you start seeing the money rolling in and you're thinking, oh, this is great, we're making money. Oh, look, we're doing really great. It's because people are, and I hate to put it this way, but having been a programmer before, and particularly when money or prestige are at stake, not always true with whatever program you wrote, but sometimes it is. People will exploit the shit out of it. And I've seen this so much when it comes to gaming in particular, and that's what I was going to compare it to, is that there was a guy, I can't remember his name, is in the World of Warcraft gaming scene, who became very popular on YouTube and Twitch because of his hacks. He would basically test things that weren't technically against the rules, and when they got him to work, he would use them. And sometimes he wouldn't talk about it till after he'd exploited it. Of course, this got him banned from the game, but multiple times. But the people do this. People when they, how do I put it exactly? When you make a great tool, you don't just make it for the good people. And that's what I mean by my own experience. I've made tools that I thought were good, and people use them for nefarious purposes.
Rule over the world.
Yeah, it's just sad. It's like, you need to test before you submit, and if you don't, this is what happens. Someone will test for you and steal your money. So
it's happening, would you say, every day in crypto?
Pretty much. It's probably happening on smaller scales with some other places. Only when they get big like this.
So it's happening in centralized and decentralized. How about that? That's a better quote.
Yeah. It's mainly because so much money is involved. And when a person finds out that they can steal millions, they ain't going to stop until they get as much as they can out of you. So
I think it's easier to DDoS a centralized site like Pizza Hut or Twitter and siphon out the funds out of there if there's any funds on there.
All right, so HSBC?
Where are we at? Sure. Let's see here. HSBC enters the metaverse by partnering with The Sandbox. This is written by Jordan Lyonjev. HSBC, a British banking organization with little to no positive words and approach to the cryptocurrency industry until recently, will collaborate with The Sandbox to foray into the metaverse. The announcement from the Animoca Brands subsidiary informed that the new partnership will allow the banking giant to open up a host of opportunities for virtual communities across the world to engage with global financial services providers and sports communities in the Sandbox metaverse. What? That's pretty cool, man. HSBC will purchase virtual real estate in the metaverse in the form of land. It will use it to connect and engage with sports, esports, and gaming enthusiasts. Read the statement. Speaking of the matter, was HSBC Chief Marketing Officer of the Asian Pacific region. Quote, the metaverse is how people will experience Web3, the next generation of the internet, using immersive technologies like augmented reality, virtual reality, and extended reality. Through our partnership with The Sandbox, we are making our foray into the metaverse, allowing us to create innovative brand experiences for new and existing customers. The Sandbox has been among the leaders in terms of metaverse adoption for the cryptocurrency space, with multiple notable partnerships in the past several months. The latest one came 2 weeks ago and was with the K-pop agency Cube. It's worth noting that HSBC has been rather critical of the cryptocurrency space in the past. In January last year, the banking organization blocked UK residents from transferring funds from exchanges to their banking accounts. Just a few months down the line, the bank's CEO, Noel Quinn, said that the institution was, quote, not into Bitcoin. However, the bank participated in a funding round from Consensus in late 2021 worth $200 million. Additionally, it partnered with Wells Fargo to use blockchain to settle Forex transactions. Of course, hey, it's bad, but we're going to use it.
Yeah.
It's only good if you use our technology.
Yeah. Right.
And
Well, I mean,
we'll charge you
obviously-
a premium fee on that.
exactly.
HSBC for years, man. I remember the early days. HSBC was talking big smack about Bitcoin, man, and apparently it still is. It's one of those things that I don't do anything with HSBC, but I remember they were just pushing it down. Bitcoin is garbage. Bitcoin is for the criminals. Like, hey, you guys never even read the damn white paper, man. It's just talking a bunch of smack.
It's funny that it goes for the same thing. I'm going to compare the lawsuit between Oracle and Google like almost a decade ago now. I think it was over a decade ago now. Well, at least when they instituted it over APIs. And they're saying, oh, well, you used the software from the company that we bought, and now you have to pay us. And it's like, if Android had never been, this is what they were showing over, showing APIs for Android. If Android had never been profitable and never had made hardly any money at all, let's say they made $1 million or something, Oracle would never have sued Google. There would have been no reason to. It's only about the money. It's always about the money. And HSBC only changed their tune when it became a money thing. Like, oh, we can make billions? Oh yeah, we like crypto. You're not a true believer. You're a bro. You're a crypto bro, HSBC. You're a crypto bro. I'm sorry.
There you go.
Continuing on with the remnants of what happened to Facebook's coin, Diem.
Oh.
By Martin Young. Diem developers raised $200 million to build Aptos blockchain. Former Meta employees. Okay, so Meta, formerly Facebook, threw in the towel on its grand plans to create a digital currency last year. Possibly because the U.S. government said, stop! Earlier.
All the global governments, man.
Well, yeah, anyways. Earlier in 2022, though, it sold the remaining assets to Silvergate Capital for $182 million. Still not a bad sale. Hardly anything compared to what Facebook makes, right? The team behind the original Diem project announced that they were working on a new blockchain called Aptos. And isn't that a town in Santa Cruz? Or near Santa Cruz, in late February. On March 15th, they outlined a massive funding round from crypto VCs. The startup has closed a $200 million strategic investment led by Andreessen Horowitz, A16Z, and with participation from Tiger Global, Multicoin Capital, 3 Arrows, a whole bunch of other people. Don't care who they are. Building Aptos team stated that they will be licensing or utilizing any of the Diem, or they will not be licensing or utilizing any of the Diem intellectual property that Silvergate owns because they built their own blockchain, according to TechCrunch. The company's valuation was not disclosed. They just talked about $200 million. Anyways, but it's likely to be over $1 billion. That's what they'd like you to think, according to the founders. Yeah, it's definitely $1 billion. Sure. No, it could be like 10. Like Trump says, it's either 1 or 10. It's a big number. Big number. Just up my hands, they're big. Who said it was into the unicorn territory? Whatever. Aptos is yet another layer 1 blockchain that puts it in competition with Ethereum and Solana. Don't they wish? It uses coding language called Move, with which it aims to attract a large number of developers from existing networks. Aptos CEO Mo Sheikh, Mo Sheikh, sorry, I shouldn't laugh, who previously worked on Meta's wallet called Novi rather, said he had close connections with the Ethereum community, which the team wants to be part of. Quote, "We want to be a part of the ecosystem. We're not here to necessarily compete." That's a bunch of BS. "We want to complete them and the challenges the community faces. Whether it's something like the wormhole event that took place, give us clear indication that things have to be built responsibly from the ground up," end quote. Furthermore, Aptos has formally launched its DevNet, allowing programmers to experiment and build apps on the blockchain ahead. The team hopes that the mainnet will be launched sometime in Q3. The report added that a number of prominent crypto firms have already engaged with it, including these names, which I'm not going to read off, but I guess Binance and Coinbase are in there. Aptos CTO Avery Ching commented that current blockchains are just not as reliable as existing financial rails. "We've seen issues of downtime and outages that last for hours," presumably in reference to Solana's multiple recent outages. Aptos is entering an increasingly crowded space that already has countless blockchain networks essentially doing the same thing. Well, obviously it's working, otherwise why would they do it? But they think they can do it better. And I'm sorry if I'm just laughing in the face of this article, but it's, I think my company's worth $1 billion, but I don't think anybody else does except me.
Mm-hmm.
So just because you got some money doesn't mean you're actually worth that much money. And even if people gave you a bunch of money, it's just speculative, which is so it's like if let's say I had 10 million shares in my company, and I sold one share for $100. That would mean that my company is effectively worth $1 billion, because one share is worth $100, which means that if you populate all the rest of them, at $1 billion. But that's, it's like I said, it's speculative. Everybody tries to do that, but it's anyways, I'm just mocking them. The last article I had up here was from.
I think they lost their chance. I think DM lost their chance to really do something.
I mean, they're already dealing with a good chunk of change, so hopefully something good can come of all that money spent on them already. So, Chinese police cracked a $60 million crypto pyramid scheme.
Okay, so this one's written by Dimitar Zenzarov. Chinese police cracked a $16 million crypto pyramid scheme report. The Shanghai Public Security Bureau and the Yangpu Public Security Bureau conducted a joint investigation on pyramid schemes using cryptocurrencies. Shortly after, the authorities busted an online platform which drained nearly $16 million in digital assets from its victims over the years. According to a local report, the organization started its illegal activity in June 2020, and its leader was a criminal suspect named Mu.
Sorry.
The latter established a blockchain technology company to provide crypto services to customers, promising investors high returns. To attract more users and expand the scale of the organization's Mu's platform also distributed numerous promotion awards and marketing initiatives. It is believed that the company had around 60,000 active members at one point. Nearly 6 months ago, the Shanghai police detected dubious activities from the organization and conducted a thorough investigation. It found out that the token provided for sale had no market value and were illegal. As a result, the authorities asked the Ministry of Public Security to launch a nationwide cloud operation against the suspected firm. In the aftermath, the police arrested 10 people connected to the criminal entity. It also revealed that the company had drained 100 million yuan, approximately $15.7 million, from its victims during its existence. The Shanghai officials praised the investigations by saying that this is the first crack cracked crypto pyramid scheme in the history of the city. Moreover, they gave tips to locals on how to protect themselves from being connected in the future. Quote,
Conned in the future.
conned in the future. The general public should raise awareness of risk prevention and consciously resist pyramid schemes. The Shanghai Public Security Economic Investigation Department will also continue to crack down on economic crimes that endanger the legitimate rights and interests of citizens and effectively protect the legitimate rights and interests of consumers. Despite having a hostile stance on private cryptocurrencies, China is much more open towards the other niches of the digital sector, such as CBDCs and the metaverse. As Crypto Potato reported earlier today, Shanghai included the latter of its 5-year development plans. Specifically, the megalopolis officials aim to encourage the application of the metaverse in areas such as public services, business offices, social entertainment, industrial manufacturing, production safety, and electronic games.
As well as personal surveillance.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's just. Hold on, let me just wipe that under the rug here.
Yeah. So like, yeah, we're basically want to be into everything you're into, and remember social. What was it called? Social equity. That
Social credit. Yeah.
Yeah, social credit. That I mean, it's really disgusting, because the Karens of China. I don't know what they would actually be called in China. We're going to make people's lives absolute hell. And the only thing of it is, it can still flip back on people. So it's like, if you do something that was like reporting, and this is the problem. There's I can't remember the name of it. ADV China is a YouTube channel I followed for a very long time, and I haven't really been watching them lately because they've turned a little bit weird. Anyways, they're very conspiracy theory right now, but they're probably not wrong. I guess what I'm trying to get at is that they talked about a man in China who was basically ratted out by a Karen, a Chinese Karen, and the local official, for the government, docked him like 1,000 social credit, and it made at that point, because I think they start you out at 2,000, and 1,000's huge. That's a gargantuan half of everything he had, and he had the way that you get it back is by doing public service. Like public work, cleaning the street or helping people out with basically things like that. Like, you're not technically in jail, but it's kind of like that. You can't leave the country. You can't travel anywhere outside your province. You have to you're basically like being grounded by the government. And another way of getting your social credit back up is by giving the government money. Kind of like taxes, but not taxes. It's just like, I had some extra money. Here's 100 won.
You know what that reminds me of?
Here's another 100 won.
That reminds me of the game of Monopoly. Instead of going to jail, and you actually just pay the $200 and continue going.
Yeah, you pay the fee, right? Pay the fine or whatever it is. It's just that if you, and I'm not saying that the ideal of what this is bad per se, in the sense of like penalizing people, but it also incentivizes people to rat people who aren't necessarily doing things wrong. And it's like, if your opinion of someone is just negative and you're just a negative person and you falsely say something about someone else and get them in trouble, well, shouldn't you get in trouble? Right? If you lie about someone else? And that's exactly what they did. He didn't do anything wrong. He just got ratted out to someone else who didn't like him. And I'm like, at that point, the system is not working for itself. It's working for the snitches. So...
Did you know that NFTs are coming to Instagram?
That's not surprising. Aren't they coming to everything?
Yep. Mark Zuckerberg already confirmed it. It's coming. So anybody and I'm guessing Facebook's on the verge as well. I'm guessing. But as of right now, NFTs are coming to Instagram. So prepare yourself.
I mean, all right, I'll put it this way. If large time creators can NFT their Instagram photos and then sell them, like Dorsey did with the first tweet, I think that might not be a bad thing.
I think that's a good thing.
So it's
I agree with you on that.
If you want to own a famous Instagram photo, then you can. and then that goes to the person who created it. That's not a bad thing at all,
Okay,
especially for artists. So,
fine. Then how about this? Because that makes too much sense. This is something that doesn't make sense. Let me pitch this idea. Such a better centralized idea held by the Zucks. How about this? An NFT created by me, only by me. No one else can create NFTs, and you're going to buy what I sell. This is the NFTs that is provided by Instagram. Nothing else. Nothing else. And on top of that, you can't sell it. You can only use it as part of your profile. You can post it, but you can't sell it.
you think that's what it is, or that's what you think it
I
is?
don't know. I can read the
Okay.
article, dude. There's an article here that was from yesterday. You want to read it?
Right.
Sounds pretty. You know what? Let me read it. This was
All right. Let
written.
me
This was
find
from
it. Hold on.
yesterday.
Let me find it so I can list. I
Okay.
can actually show it on the screen here. Oh yeah, here we go. Instagram. All right, I popped it up on the screen.
Yeah. NFTs are coming to Instagram, confirms Mark Zuckerberg, written by Andrew Thorvalis. Mark Zuckerberg, CEO of Meta, formerly Facebook, owner of Instagram, revealed today that that Instagram will be integrating NFTs into its platform. Speaking at SXSW, the billionaire confirmed that the digital collectibles would come to Instagram in the near term. He shared little details about what roles NFTs would play on the platform, but suggested that the people could both show off their current NFTs and even mint new ones. I'm not ready to kind of announce exactly what that's going to be today, he said. But over the next several months, the ability to bring some of your NFTs in, hopefully over time, we'll be able to mint things within that environment. Zuckerberg's interest in NFTs is no surprise. He rebranded his company to Meta in October of last year, focusing on the growing virtual world concept called the metaverse, in which NFTs and crypto will presumably be central. The CEO expressed hope that the NFTs could at least play a role in Meta's own metaverse. Quote, I would hope that the clothing that your avatar is wearing in the metaverse, can be basically minted as an NFT. And you can take it between your different places, he said. Exactly what I was telling you, man. Exactly what I was telling you. So you basically don't have the. Oh, hold on. Yeah. Instagram wouldn't be the only social platform to take interest. Twitter has already integrated NFT profile pictures and Ethereum wallet connectivity for its Twitter Blue subscribers. So it sounds, I don't know. I'm grinding my teeth on this one really bad. Grinding my gears. Seriously. This is horrible, man. It sounds like in order for them to, you got to use the Meta wallet. I'm sure the Meta crypto wallet. I'm sure you got a KYC AML if you haven't already. I don't know if that's part of social media. Do you have to do that? I don't know. KYC AML for social media?
I I think so. I know for Facebook they want to know who you really are because I don't think they make you use your driver's license or authentic ID for the state,
Oh,
but
okay.
they do at least want you to have a real name. They do at least want you to have a real birthday, and I don't think they're asking for social security numbers, but I know they do ask for phone numbers. So there's a version of KYC, but not the kind that government regulated like it is with crypto exchanges. But
Yeah.
yeah,
What do you think about this?
it's all right. He can do whatever he wants, right? Doesn't mean you have to participate.
True.
Um,
It
is it?
sounds it sounds
I
really stupid
think they
though.
need to start somewhere,
Hmm.
and
Okay.
maybe they
Yeah.
just
Okay.
don't know what can be done with NFTs at this time. You and I know because we've been involved with this much longer. Since the advent of NFTs, we've been involved in this idea. So we know what should be done and what works better. Zuckerberg doesn't. He may have advisors. That doesn't mean those people have a clue. I hate to say it. But they're also interested in doing this to make money. So, and they're also a corporate entity that wants to make sure that they don't lose money while trying to make money.
Sure.
So,
But the idea what we're talking about that makes sense, which is allowing um, the the person making, I guess the videos on Instagram. I sound so old now. The videos, um, clipping them into NFTs. Let them do. Let it be free to the people to decide what kind of NFTs they want to make. Right. That's pretty cool. If they
mhm.
want to. create an NFT of their own, I guess, themselves or their art, whatever they do, their music. That's pretty cool. But now, hey, you know what? You're gonna buy the Facebook, you're gonna buy the Meta T-shirt, digital, the avatar T-shirt for like $100.
Mm-hmm.
And on top of that, you can't export it. It has to stay locally on the Novi wallet.
Right.
Yeah. Come on now. Come on, man.
Yeah, like I said, well, I mean, whether it's a cash grab or not, it's supposed to make the company money. So if you take it away from them, then it's not going to make them as much money. But I mean, if it was going to be an open marketplace, it would be an open marketplace. That's not what they're doing. So
We'll see as time comes about. It'd be cool if this actually does integrate into directly to the sandbox or to Decentraland. That'd be pretty cool. Whatever.
Zuckerberg is not, what's his name, Dorsey. They might be in a similar business, but they're very different people. Zuckerberg, even though he's younger than Dorsey and is still kind of miraculously a billionaire, I still think of the man as not being all that intelligent. I mean, it feels like he never really learned anything. And I kind of feel the same way about Elon Musk. I mean, yes, Elon Musk, he got his fingers into a lot of pies where he was making some really amazing things.
Well,
It still doesn't seem like a very smart guy.
what about Vitalik? Can I throw Vitalik in there?
I don't really know much about Vitalik Buterin, so, I mean, I know.
Because he's Russian, you don't want to talk about it.
No, I just don't know much about him. I don't know his character very well, other than what I've read about him on the news. I mean, I know Elon much better because I know more about him from other people, in particular. What's his name? Martin Eberhard, whom I've actually spoken with like a normal person, not some random, because Martin Eberhard was one of the founders of Tesla. And he used to come to the EV meetings that we had in Silicon Valley that I was president of. So I know the man. And he didn't ever speak very highly of Musk. So, I mean, yes, Musk came in and helped save Tesla. For that, he was grateful. After that, nothing good about the guy. And I have to admit, Elon has lived up to Martin's estimation. He's more of a money person, a finance guy, a finance jock, than a real engineer. So
Somebody needs to take that role, man.
no, I'm not saying people can't do that. I mean, you do need to be a CEO needs to be a CEO. It's just that not all. Put it this way: what's the name of the CEO of NVIDIA?
I don't know.
Yeah. What's the name of the CEO of Western Digital?
I don't know.
Right.
Even though they're like down the street, though.
These people don't get out in public like Elon Musk and Zuckerberg and even what's his name from Google. I can't remember his name now. But they're not public facing people. They're not, people know who Jeff Bezos is, even though Jeff Bezos is definitely not a public person, because he's one of the richest men in the world. But that's the same thing with.
The only time I ever heard of Sundar, the CEO of Google, was when he was in front of Congress, and I think he presented himself in a very professional manner. That was like the only time I really saw him. Other than that, I mean, prior to that, after that, I really haven't heard about him, seen him. No.
Yeah, well, that's the point I'm trying to make is that even though they're the CEOs of very, very, very wealthy companies and big companies that do things all over the world, they're not getting out there in public all the time. So, and I don't have anything else. Let me just wrap this up with the last bit. Where did that thing go? All right. I had it, and I didn't want to put that up. Thank you. Move that over there. All right. I thought like I didn't already know this. How many times have I said this and don't have it memorized? Yeah. If you appreciate our content, thank you for listening this long. This is the end of the show. If you liked our content, please give us a like on YouTube. And if you want to subscribe, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. We post every Wednesday and Sunday. Check us out on Discord and join our Discord if you'd like to participate with us more. And you can support us on Patreon or through Bitcoin, Ethereum, Binance, BAT, or Raven token. All the information is in the description below. So with that, thank you, John, for coming on the show. I still Alyssa's traveling this week, isn't she?
Yeah.
So that's the reason she's out. Well, with that said, stack sats and hodl. Adios.